Alright guys, so let's talk about how much it costs to do the manual swap. I think I got mine done reasonably cheap. I did buy a wrecked car. I'll go into more details about that later, but if you haven't seen the video of me installing, I'll leave a link in the description. I've done the full video, literally how to, and also the wiring for a 2003 350Z, as a lot of the forums get very confused about years and models, and it took me about an hour and 40 minutes until I actually decided to cut one of the wires, as a lot of the forums are all over the show. So let's just get straight into it. How much did it cost? I picked up a wrecked 2003 350Z for $600, and that got me everything. The wreck was just the front impact and rear, so all I needed was gearbox, tail shaft, brake pedal, clutch pedal, obviously pressure plate, flywheel, clutch, all that stuff. So that all came in with it, which was awesome. But I did forget to take out the hardened clutch lines, unfortunately, so I did have to end up buying a used set off of eBay. But that was only $60, so for me to get the car running only cost me $660. I know the box is only a CDO5, they're nothing special, everyone wants a CDO9, but still, I've seen CDO1s sell for around $800 here in Perth. I've seen price tags on CDO9s for close to $2,000, so I'm pretty sure I've done it the cheapest as I could. For oils, I also went cheap. I know you're probably thinking shouldn't cheap out on oils, but I just got $10 .4 clutch fluid, and I just got some known brand gearbox oil for $20. So yeah, I've done it as cheap as I can, and I want to keep this a cheap drift build, which you'll later see. Make sure you subscribe so you can keep up with all my videos, as it's literally just C and drifting content. Alright, so now let's talk about the full process. Obviously you need to jack your car up in the stands. After that I went with taking my exhaust off, and then I call it the W frame. It's like the chassis brace that goes obviously between the chassis rails into the front subframe. It looks like a W or an M. I just call it a W frame. So removing the automatic gearbox and obviously the automatic shifter was way easier than I thought. It literally took me 3 hours, and that was jacking the car up and ripping everything automatic out. It took me basically 3 hours, so I was super excited and pretty pumped. I thought it was going to take me a lot longer than that. I gave myself about 3 weeks to get it done. I had 11 days off over Christmas, so if I didn't have it done, I was going to try and get it done during then, but I got it done before my break, which is awesome. So yeah, the process was way quicker than I thought. So obviously with the auto stuff all out, I was ready to install all the manual gear. So installing all the manual gear, honestly, was just as simple as ripping the auto box out. Things you always want to try and make sure you do is Loctite and torque down your flywheel and pressure plate bolts. They are pretty crucial, as they are spinning at a fair rate of RPM, and being drifting is going to cop a lot of hammering, so make sure you do that. All that information will be in my first video, so if you haven't seen that again, make sure you check that out, as I've tried my best to go on as detailed as I can to help people out, because the few videos that are out there, they actually are really good, but they miss the crucial steps, I say. So yeah. Now with installing the gearbox, make sure you check the dowels, or the location pins. My dad and I obviously were trying to get it in, and one of the location pins were in the same spot on the gearbox and the back of the motor. Didn't pick that until about 10 minutes. We're struggling trying to get it in. We finally got it in, so yeah, make sure you check your dowels. Alright, Right, so literally everything else is straightforward. Tail shaft went straight in. Obviously top the gearbox up, now top it up, just fill it until it starts coming out of the filler hole. Yeah, what really is after that? Installing your shifter, your plastic trim, that was it. So the part that kind of got me the most scared was the wiring. I hate 12-volt wiring, I hate electrical stuff, so for me, didn't really enjoy it. Like I said before, it took me an hour and 40 minutes until I decided to cut which wire. This is a 2003, so if you have any other years, I'm sorry, I got way confused with the other stuff. Thankfully, I've got a 2003. All you got to do, it's going to sound way simple, but you want to go to your fuse box, which is next to your battery, also known as your IPDM, which is your Intelligent Power Distribution Module. Once you're in that, it's like black plastic clips that actually hold it all together. Just take them all off, so it's easier for you to cut and solder or do whatever you want to do. I use bullet connectors, so I wasn't trying to solder in just a tight connection. It was just clamping and crimping stuff. That's all I've done. So when you're in your IPDM, what you want to do is you want to go to your plug E8, which is the bottom right one, and pin 45. Now for a 2003, that is yellow with a red stripe. That's all you got to do. Cut that, put 2 bullet connectors so you can run constant 12-volt to that wire, and your car's going to start. Right, so just one more thing. I was driving home, kind of forgot something to mention. With that wiring, you still keep your speedo, it's still accurate. Only thing you do lose, this is a touring edition, you do lose your cruise control. Again, doesn't bother me. Main thing I needed was my speedo, as it's still going to be my daily to work and back. So, yep, thought I'd quickly mention that to you guys. That's all you got to do. Now, I didn't wire up a clutch safety switch. This is going to be a drift car later on, so don't need a clutch safety switch. Yeah. So that was literally how easy and simple it was to install a manual gearbox. Well, converting your auto to a manual and a Z. So guys, that's literally it for the how-to on swap a manual into an auto. It was so easy. I mean, I've only been working on Z's for really just on 2 years now, and yeah, it was simple as. Car's still running sweet. I'm actually going to, in the brake, gonna just go over all the nuts and bolts, double check everything's tight. It's better to be safe than sorry, I guess, but yeah, I didn't really run into any problems. I think the only problem I ran into was the location pins for getting the gearbox in. That was really it. So guys, if you're gonna do it yourself. It is so simple and easy. If you guys have any questions about when it comes to the swap, leave a comment. I'll try my best to answer it, but if I do get a lot of comments, I might just do a full Q&A style video. I'll just pick the most liked comments, or the comments that appeared the most. So yeah, make sure you like this video. Again guys, if you haven't, make sure you subscribe. It helps me out massive. I want to try and make YouTube my thing. I love cars and I love recording stuff and sharing my experience with other people. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video.